Hey there, Sketchnoters. Welcome to the first week of Elements. This week we will look at fonts. Fonts are, of course, imperative in our note-taking because it's how we get our words onto the page. My plan is to show you a couple and then you can give them a go yourself, maybe tweak them, and see where you might go with them. So let's get started. Just to let you know, I do go pretty quickly through this, so feel free to pause the video if you want to draw along. Or at the end, I show you all the fonts together and you can copy that. Totally up to you. So I'll get started by picking a color and a size for my pen and just draw a typical A, B, and C. This is traditional handwriting, and your handwriting does count as a font. If you want to play around a little bit, consider the strike-throughs, like the A. You can be really high, or it might be really low. In your B, you might have a big fat bubble there. Oh, I don't really like that, but whatever. Or a little one. And same with the C. It can be sort of skinny or more wide. Little tweaks like that help. My next favorite font is called Feet, at least that's what I call it. So I draw a typical A, and then another B, and a C, and again, you would do this with all letters. And I just draw little like lines wherever I picked my pencil or my writing utensil off the page. Feet. Next one's very similar. I'm going to draw an A, and wherever I picked my pencil up, I'm going to draw little dots, and I call this one dots. You can see how each of these make your letters pop a little bit. They're just a little bit more than that traditional sort of font you might have in your handwriting, especially if you don't have a handwriting that's really fancy, like I don't consider mine. Okay, the other one is really cool if you do digital. You can do it with a highlighter. So you're going to pick a contrasting color, and in sort of block letters, you're going to draw the letters of the word. So A, B, and C. And then I would go back to my marker, pick a color, in this case black, and then in cursive, just draw it over top. Students at my school use this all the time, and I think it's actually really pretty. Okay, next one to do. I'm going to make my color a little bit thicker, and I'm going to draw, like I've been doing, A, B, and C. And from there, I'm going to get a thinner marker, or you can make your pen thinner if you're going digital. And I'm just going to put little dots down the left-hand side. From far away, this actually looks really cool, and it's a super easy font to do. For my next set, I'm going to have really thick, and it's almost the opposite. So I'm going to draw my ABC. And then I'm going to switch from my black to white, and you could do this with any colored, sort of light colored or metallic pen. And now draw dots on the inside. And again, it makes them pop, especially if you want a more bold looking title. Next, I'm going to go to a thin marker and draw out my letters. And then I'm just on the inside or on the outside going to draw a line really, really close on the left-hand side. And again, this just gives it a little bit of flair. The next font I like to do is like a little flowery font. I think it looks pretty cute. I sort of pick halfway up one of the sides and I draw almost like a little backwards B, and it gives it some flair. The last big font I see a lot in visual note-taking. You draw sort of two lines, almost like an arc, and in thicker. And then in a thinner pen, you can just go through and write words or letters in there. And I often color the background of that. Now, if you want to get sort of fancy beyond there, I'm going to jump into containers a little bit. I'm going to draw some squares, and on the left or right-hand side rather, and the bottom, I'm going to make a sort of a thicker line. And this can be done with a single pencil or marker, and just sort of drawing a couple of lines. And once I have those, I'm going to fix that up a little bit. Once I have those in, color the bottom, I just write letters inside. These are really great for popping letters, and they're really good for titles. I like them because I think they look like Scrabble tiles. Okay, the font I'm currently in love with came from the cover of Austin Kleon's books that I heard about in Matt Miller's Ditch Summit. So I looked at them and I did them, and I'm just going to draw the entire alphabet so you can see sort of my way of doing things. These change slightly. I love doing little e's regardless if it's capital or not. I love the F's. And you'll see here in my H to have that cross through line really high. I do a mix of capital and lowercase. It's just sort of what I do. My J and my Y have that curly. My K and my R, the foot at the bottom goes out a little bit differently. O's I find really hard. Circles are really hard for me. I don't know why. Q is a little lowercase. R, there it is with the little foot. My S's, I really like S's. I like to put them a little down so they would go sort of underneath that little R. T, U, V, W, X are sort of standard. Y, there's the curly, and Z. And there you have it. There's a whole bunch of different fonts that you can give a try. Okay, so if you're going digital, consider writing out your name. And from there, if you click the layers, you can add a layer and put it underneath. Change to a light marker, make it a bit bigger, and then just underneath and just to one side, depends on where your light source comes from, you can draw in that light gray, and that's how you can get that sort of professional shadowing look. I love it. There's a great pen called the Copic in that color too that you can do it analog. So there you go. Now it's your turn. Be sure to share your fonts in the class comments and let me know how the week went. What's your favorite font?